Jenkins. Dr. Reeves?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jenkins, an Associate Director here at Keiser University for Fort Myers campus. And I just want to thank each of you for coming tonight and joining us and the students in their celebration. Now if we could bow our heads, there is someone else that we should thank too. So thank you, Jesus, for being good all the time. And thank you, Jesus, for those assembled here as we celebrate their advancements. For you know most every one of these individuals saw the achievement of a degree, an impossible feat. And we tend to use the word impossible to mean out of reach or too hard to achieve. But you, God, took the word impossible in the lives of each of these students and showed each of these individuals here tonight that impossible actually means I'm possible. And we thank you, Jesus, for turning their can'ts into cans and their dreams into plans. For these reasons we pray, and God's people say, amen.
You can all have a seat. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nancy Tedros. I'm the campus president of Keiser University, Fort Myers. And I want to thank you all for being here on this special night. A very special welcome to our graduates. Let's give them a hand. You are a shining example of the result of hard work and persistence. A college degree is a very special accomplishment. You are in the small percentage of people who achieve a college degree. It's one of those achievements that cannot be taken away from you. You earned it. Be proud of it. And use it to make an impact on others. We feel privileged to have shared this academic journey with you. I want to welcome your family and friends who have supported and encouraged you. They were instrumental in making today a reality. Thank you to the deans and our academic team of faculty and staff members. Your expertise, your commitment to excellence and compassion are evident every day. Know how much you are appreciated and so responsible for the successes of today. Staff, thank you. You are the people that help these graduates make the life-changing decision to advance academically. Your actions have been vital. Honored guests, welcome and thank you for sharing tonight with us. We value your time and your service. Tonight, I want to welcome Dr. Carolyn Ware, who's Regional Director of Student Services, representing our Office of the Chancellor, as she introduces our graduation speaker.
Good evening, family, friends, faculty, staff, and our accomplished graduates. It is an absolute pleasure to be here tonight and have the opportunity to introduce our class of 2016 commencement speaker, State Representative, and Florida Majority Leader Ray Rodriguez. Leader Rodriguez is a native of Pensacola, but moved to Southwest Florida in 1995. He graduated from Berry College in Rome, Georgia, and is currently working on his Master's of Political Administration from Florida Gulf Coast University, where he also works as a budget manager for the College of Arts and Sciences. Prior to joining Florida Gulf Coast, Leader Rodriguez worked 10 years for General Electric, where he managed U.S. import compliance. First elected to the Florida House in 2012, Mr. Rodriguez currently serves District 76 on the Appropriations Committee, Higher Education Appropriations Subcommittee, and the Rules and Policy Committee. Speaker of the House, Richard Corcoran, has appointed him as his majority leader until the end of his term in 2018. Leader Rodriguez is a champion of self-governance and the people's right to speak. That is why he authored a bill reinforcing Florida's sunshine laws following a decision by the Florida Supreme Court that affirmed a court decision in Escambia County that denied public input at a government meeting. He also led the charge in helping to reduce taxes on everything from license plates to cell phones in our state. He is active in the community, sitting on the Board of Advisors for Special Equestrians, has served as an appointee of Governor Jeb Bush on the Lee County Housing Authority, served as the Vice Chair of the Lee County Republican Executive Committee, a deacon at Gulf Coast Church of Christ, and as the treasurer in the Freedom and Virtue Institute. He lives in Estero with his wife Ruth and son Red. Please join me in welcoming our friend and a great Floridian, the Honorable Ray Rodriguez.
Thank you very much, President Tedros, members of the faculty and the administration, parents, friends, honored guests, and graduates. Thank you for inviting me to speak today at this magnificent commencement ceremony. Let me begin by commending you and your institution. As many of you know, Keiser is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. In the prestigious U.S. News and World Rankings of America's Best Colleges for 2017, Keiser ranked 23rd out of 113 colleges in the regional colleges in the South Division. Wondering who your rivals were, I looked up the rankings, and I was surprised to see a familiar name after Keiser University in the rankings. The name just below Keiser is Shorter University in Rome, Georgia. Now, as you heard in the introduction, I went to college at Berry College in Rome, Georgia. And every year, Shorter played Berry in the Rome Collegiate City Championship. So I'm very familiar with Shorter. And it's surprising to learn that my alma mater and Keiser share a common rival. Small world, right? So before I begin, I'm going to ask a question. How do you get a Shorter graduate off of your front porch? You pay them for the pizza. I can say that about Shorter because I've seen their classrooms. And I can tell you why Keiser's ranked above Shorter, because Keiser prepares you for the workforce. So that's a little lighthearted humor, but there's a kernel of truth that's in there. All right, I have to be honest. I racked my brain for what I would say to you today. I did research and I learned that the longest commencement speech was 6 hours, and it was delivered at Harvard University. I'm not going to speak for 6 hours. Yes. I learned that a commencement speaker at Baylor University went on for so long that the university banned using outside speakers for commencement. And from that day forward, only uses faculty members from Baylor University where they can assure that the speech will be of an appropriate time frame. I also learned that the shortest graduation speech, commencement speech, was delivered to the University of Wyoming and was 4 words. I will share that with you when I close. So, as I begin with this observation because I think it's important. 25 years ago, I sat where our graduates are sitting today. I graduated with my degree. And as I look back on my graduation ceremony and the commencement speaker, I have to be honest, I don't remember his name. I don't remember what he looked like. I don't remember his occupation. I don't remember what he sounded like. And I don't remember a single thing he said. My hope today is that I will say something that you will at least find useful, even if you don't remember it 25 years from now. But I am going to start with some good news. And here's the good news. I'm only going to speak for 12 minutes. What that means is that in 12 minutes, you are guaranteed a good outcome. You will either have been inspired by what I have said, or you will be relieved that it is over. But one way or another, in 12 minutes, you're going to get a good outcome. Let's find out which one it will be. I'm going to begin by honoring you, the graduates. As the majority leader of the Florida House of Representatives, I am a policymaker for the state of Florida. Many of you may know that the state of Florida is the 3rd largest state in the country. The simple fact is that the state of Florida needs more college graduates. In America, 65% of the people in the labor force do not have a college degree. 65%. So as of today, you join a minority of people who are the most qualified to be in our workforce. In Florida, the number is even worse. 67% of the people in Florida's labor force do not have a college degree. As the economy of our state continues to evolve and diversify, there is a greater demand for workers who have both the knowledge and the skills that are developed in the classroom and on the college campuses. The need for this educated workforce is demonstrated by the increased earnings that are associated with a college degree. According to the Federal Reserve, over the course of their lifetime, college graduates on average will earn $830,000 more than their peers who do not have a college degree. You all have just made the most important investment possible. You have invested in yourselves, and you've done so in a way that will benefit you, will benefit your family, will benefit your community, and will benefit your state. Attending Keiser University has prepared you for the workforce. I recognize that for many of you, getting to this point tonight required sacrifice. Give me a quick show of hands. How many of you, the graduates, worked full-time or part-time while you completed your degree? That's impressive. You have all worked hard, and I offer my respect for your accomplishment that we are recognizing tonight. As I stated earlier, I researched commencement speeches. I did this because I wanted to honor you with a good speech tonight. A common theme of the good ones is that they inspire. Many inspire by encouraging you to follow your dreams, to seek a career that's a passion for you, and to always get up after you've been knocked down. But I'm not going to offer you platitudes tonight. I'm just going to tell you my story. I was invited here tonight because I'm the majority leader of the Florida House of Representatives. However, I lost my first race for office. In 2004, I ran for a county-wide seat, and in the Republican primary, I lost by 72 points. Now, I see some of you doing some quick math, and you're thinking, wow, if his opponent got 72, he only got 28, which means for every person who voted for him, 3 people voted for his opponent. And that would be true if I lost to 72 points. But what I said was I lost by 72 points, which means my opponent got 86% of the vote, and I only received 14% of the vote. So for every vote I received, my opponent received 6 votes. And I say this because it happened right here in Lee County. Lee County is a county of over 500,000 people. 500,000 people lived in Lee County at the time that I ran for election. Our population has grown even larger since. And the loss that I had was so bad that in the history of Lee County, which dates back to the 1800s, no one whose name was on the ballot had ever lost by such a wide margin. So where do you go from there? I tell you what I wanted to do. I wanted to crawl in a hole and disappear. That's what I wanted to do. But I didn't. My family and my friends wouldn't let me. They reminded me that politics had been a passion of mine since I was 16 years old, when I got involved in my first campaign as a volunteer. Politics was the only thing that had been a passion of my life for more than half of my life, since I was 34 when I lost that first race. And they said, you can't just walk away. So here's what I did instead. I got involved, more involved. I volunteered with the party. I identified candidates who I thought were great candidates, and I volunteered for them. I didn't ask whether they helped me when I ran in my race or not. I just decided, would they be good? And if they would, I worked for them. And in the end, in 2008, when I made the decision to run for an open seat, I still had the ghost. 2012 is when I ran for the Florida House. I still had the ghost of 2004 floating out there. People didn't believe I could win because I had lost by such a wide margin in 2004. And I tell you this story for a reason. And here's what the reason is. No matter how great your plans are, at some point, you're going to encounter failure. The question is not, will you fail? The question instead is, will you allow failure to define you? You must not allow failure to define you. In 2012, when I ran, I had over 100 volunteers from people who had worked with me on previous campaigns that said, you would do a good job in Tallahassee. And in 2012, I won that race, and I won with a landslide. And so here's what I say. No matter what your future failure is going to be, most likely, it will not be on a stage that's in front of 500,000 people. Most likely, it will not be a failure that's so epic it's never been done in more than a century. So if I can encounter that failure and overcome it, there's no failure out there too great for you. If you take nothing else home tonight, take that home. The fact you're sitting here tonight shows that you have the determination and the grit to succeed. Hold on to that. Thank you. Remember that earlier I shared with you that I could not remember who offered the commencement speech at my college graduation, nor could I remember anything that he said? That's true. Do you know what I do remember about that day, however? I remember my mom and dad were in the audience. My mom and dad drove 7 hours to watch me graduate from college. How many of you have family that are out here in the audience tonight? Show of hands. That's special. After the ceremony, my mom and dad commented on how beautiful the campus was at Berry. And we talked about potentially coming back for a visit when they could spend more time and when the campus would be less crowded. It was a trip that we intended to take, my wife and I and my parents. But you know what? Work got in the way. I always assumed that there would be an ideal time in the future when things slowed down that would be perfect for us to take our trip. As we got closer to the 10th anniversary of our graduation, my wife and I planned to go back for that anniversary. And in the back of my mind, I thought this would be a good time to bring Mom and Dad back to the Berry campus. But ultimately, we didn't get to take that trip. On my mom's 49th birthday, I called to wish her a happy birthday and see if she'd gotten my card and my gift. We had a great conversation that lasted nearly an hour. And for me, that's something. I don't like to be on the phone more than 2 minutes. Hello, let's get to the point. Okay, talk to you later. That's the way I typically operate on the phone. But it was my mom's birthday. And on your mom's birthday, you stay on the phone as long as she wants to talk. And I'm so thankful that I did. Because the next day, she had a massive heart attack and passed away. While it was tragic to lose my mom so young, I took comfort that in our last conversation, we said everything that needed to be said. Even though we didn't know that was going to be our last conversation. It was just by the luck that it was on our birthday that we held it. And ultimately, when Ruth and I did go back to Berry College for that 10th anniversary, it was a bittersweet trip. Because my mom wasn't there to join us. And so here's my recommendation to you. Take the degree you're going to receive and have it framed. And hang that degree in your office or your cubicle, wherever you work. And use that degree as a visual cue to help you maintain perspective on what is important. And what is important are the people that helped you get here today. Don't fall into the trap that is so common of pursuing your professional career and doing it at the expense of your personal relationships. Let the people that are important in your life know they are important and do it often. Because you just don't know when your next conversation with them will be your last. And so that's it. I bring this to a close with those two pieces of advice. I'm so proud of all of you for what you have done to be here tonight, for working, for taking your classes, for completing your requirements, and for having this big moment that you can share. I told you earlier the shortest commencement speech in history that's been recorded was 4 words. It was given by the governor of the state of Wyoming to the University of Wyoming. And those 4 words were, "You done real good." I close with that commencement speech from you tonight. You done real good. God bless you. God bless your family. And God bless the great state of Florida.
Lita Rodriguez, what a great story and what great words of encouragement. I have a little something. A token of our appreciation. Thank you. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our valedictorian, Whitney Clark. Whitney is graduating from the Bachelor of Science in Forensic Investigations.
Good evening, graduates, faculty, family, and friends. Tonight, I am honored to address you all as the valedictorian for Keiser University's class of 2017. I will admit, I had not originally intended to participate in this ceremony. That was until I realized how unexpected the cap and gown were. Then I was informed that I'm the valedictorian, so here I am. This is the part of my speech where I'm expected to thank my family, my friends, and my professors for my academic success and for standing up here today. However, I am not going to do that. Those who have guided me and supported me throughout my academic journey know who and how appreciated they are. Instead, I feel it is important to remind all of the graduates in attendance this evening, including myself, that we are the ones who are ultimately responsible for our successes. You have each earned your degree. I have earned my degree. As supportive as they were, my family, my friends, and my professors did not spend over 76 hours writing a research paper. I did. We fear failure and success so much, although both are essential for personal growth and development. There are an infinite number of factors that prevent people from reaching their full potentials. Insecurities, fear, skepticism. Our most important lessons are often taught by our biggest mistakes. And one of the first steps in achieving full potential is the acceptance of one's own weaknesses. This is not to be ridiculed because it demonstrates self-awareness and tenacity. When I enrolled into my first semester of college, I tested at an 8th grade math level. I had to study 10 times as hard to maintain just a C average in math, while I watched my brother excel in calculus and trigonometry. Research writing was the first course I took at Keiser. In that class, I wrote a persuasive research paper that my professor would later inform me was one of the best college student-written research papers that she had ever read. Hearing that made me feel better about not being able to graph a parabola. So embrace your weaknesses and focus on what you are best at. I believe in relishing the small victories in life because those are the building blocks of larger achievements. You always hear the phrase, life is short. However, for most, life is not short at all. In fact, it is the longest thing that we do. So we owe it to ourselves to indulge in those small victories from time to time. Success is not always defined by the number of degrees on your wall or by the number of zeros in your bank account. Success is most simply defined as the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. So whether you are earning your associate degree at 40 or graduating from medical school at 30, take a moment to appreciate each and every milestone, no matter how seemingly small it is. Before I end off, I would like to offer an inspirational quote to you all. Eleanor Roosevelt was the First Lady during World War II and America's worst depression. During that time, she offered these words to encourage Americans. Believe in yourself. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you stop to look fear in the face. You must do that which you think you cannot do. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Thank you.
Whitney, thank you so very much. Such wise words. And I have something for you. Congratulations. Thank you. As many of you know, it's the 40th anniversary of Keiser University. 40 years, and tonight our graduates will be no longer students, but alumni of Keiser University, joining more than 60,000 other alumni out there. So we have a video we'd like to show you on the screens about being an alumni.
Welcome, Keiser University graduates, friends and families. You represent Keiser University's 40th year of serving students, families, our state, and nation. It is an exciting time to be a Keiser University Seahawk.
Well, first, I want to welcome and congratulate all the graduates. We're very excited to have you here with us, not only to celebrate this critical date of graduation, but this is the beginning of our 40th year and our 40th anniversary. And today we have almost 20,000 students in 19 communities throughout the state of Florida, as additionally in Nicaragua, China, and Eastern Europe. I want to thank all the people who are part of the Keiser University community for getting us to this point 40 years after we started. It is an exciting time to be Keiser University Seahawks. Go Seahawks!
Today, Keiser University is Florida's third largest not-for-profit private university, regionally accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools as a Level 6 university, signifying its expanded doctorate level degrees and research interests. Keiser University is also a member of the Independent Colleges and Universities of Florida. With over 20,000 students, 60,000 alumni, and 3,800 team members, Keiser University remains a valued choice for both students seeking a quality education and employers demanding well-prepared graduates to fulfill their workforce needs.
I wanted to tell you a little bit about Keiser University and what makes us different. From the very beginning, our commitment continues to be creating a strong learning environment for a serious-minded student who has a dream and who is looking for a quality education to lead them to a career. In fact, we have over 100 different associate to doctoral degrees. For most of our students, they tell us that they're working and juggling family responsibilities or even entering college for the first time right out of high school, sometimes far away from home. Our students also tell us that they're able to contribute and combine the things that matter to them the most. A solid education, a full college experience, one that includes service to the community, leadership, and of course, great athletics.
Keiser University's athletic program fields over 20 teams. The College of Golf and Sport Management, located in the heart of Palm Beach County at Keiser's flagship campus, prepares graduates for careers in the $75 billion golf industry. Over 100 participated in an event which raised over $200,000 for both the Nicholas Children's Healthcare Foundation and Keiser University's Keiser Mills Foundation for student scholarships. Well-known attendees included former Speaker of the House John Boehner, former Miami Dolphin Bob Griese, former University of Miami and Florida Atlantic University head football coach Howard Schnellenberger, hockey legend Bobby Orr, and coach Rolly Massimino, who is the national championship coach of Villanova's winning team in 1985, current head of men's basketball at Keiser University, and one of only 3 active collegiate men's basketball coaches to earn 800 wins. In 2016, Keiser University Chancellor and co-founder Dr. Arthur Keiser announced that Keiser University would be adding football to the athletic program, with the first game planned for fall 2018. Inherent in Keiser University's mission is service to the community, including student scholarships, support for charitable causes, and Keiser Mills Foundation. Historically, over $40 million in academic and needs-based scholarships has been awarded to deserving students. With over 20% of Keiser University's student body comprised of veterans, active duty service members, or military family members, Keiser University campuses support charitable causes to benefit our local heroes and their families. The future of Keiser University remains bright. We recently welcomed our first class of Doctorate of Chiropractic Medicine students, and we will be establishing a Center for Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Global Leadership at our flagship campus. We invite all of our Keiser University alumni to join us in these exciting developments.
My name is Drew Driscoll, Fire Chief of the Daytona Beach Fire Department. We've been serving the community for 105 years. But it really comes down to the citizens we serve. In my position as Fire Chief, education is a requirement. Through Keiser University, I was able to further develop my knowledge base, and I could immediately begin to see the progress I made, ultimately resulting in improvements in my career advancement.
Congratulations, Keiser University graduates and families. Celebrating our 40th year, it is an exciting time to be a Keiser University Seahawk. As a Keiser University graduate, you are now a member of our Alumni Association. Our association is supported by volunteer alumni organized at each campus. Alumni counseling can help you find former KU friends, make new ones, build your professional and social network, and continue your KU education. We are proud that Keiser University graduates have reached the highest levels in their career fields, started their own businesses, been invited to meet with governors, and even tested for members of the United States Congress. I personally encourage you to stay connected and actively participate in your alma mater's 40th year homecoming events. We are excited to see the positive change that each of you are now prepared to effect in your community. Go Seahawks!
Over the years, we've expanded in many different communities. In fact, we're in 19 different locations throughout Florida and internationally. From the very first day, we decided that one of the best things we could do was to help students become leaders in their communities and their profession. We believe that Keiser University will continue to be a strong leader in higher education, helping individuals and families achieve their professional dreams, helping them contribute their talent to making their community stronger. Today, we celebrate with you your graduation day and our 40th year, our homecoming year. We invite you to join us for a year of lots of activities and service to the community. It truly is an exciting time to be a Keiser University Seahawk.
We hope all of you stay connected to Keiser, that you are our esteemed alumni now, and there are many opportunities for you to be involved and to help others who are in your shoes. So now we're getting to the important stuff. I'd like to introduce Keiser University's new academic dean, Dr. Amy Teprovich. Dean Teprovich is dedicated and committed to quality education. Dean Teprovich will now announce the graduate awards and recognitions and then continue with our presentation of graduates. For family and friends, before Dean Amy comes up here, I want to encourage you to hoot and holler and whatever you need to do as your graduate comes across. I also encourage you to come up and take pictures so that you can cherish tonight. Dean Amy.
Good evening. Thank you for that warm introduction, President Tedros. Okay, I get the good part, folks. This is the fun stuff. Thank you for that. We would like to take a moment to recognize our graduates' educational achievements by asking them to stand when their honors are announced. Graduates of distinction wearing blue and white cords, please stand to be recognized. So much. Okay, so now is the moment we've all been waiting for. Will the candidates for graduation please rise and come forward? Please know, as we are lining the graduates up, I will be reading their names, but we also have asked them to write a short thank you note at the bottom of their name card. So that would be, we will also be reading their name and a thank you note to many of you in the audience. Let's begin with the Master of Business Administration, Brittany Brown Cooper. I would like to thank Brandon Cooper, Karen and Tony Rogers, and my family for their love, guidance, and support. Masters of Science Science and Nursing, Fabiola and Glade Pascal. She'd like to thank God, her mother, father, and my loving husband for all their prayers and support. Bachelor's of Arts in Business Administration Management, Francis Pavita. I'd like to thank my family and friends. Gloria Navarro. I'd like to thank my husband for all his support and my entire family. Bachelor's of Arts in Criminal Justice, Shamira Thomas. I'd like to thank my mom, my family, and my friends. Catherine Bejarano. Thanks to my husband, mother, aunt, and entire family for your love and support. Crystal Ferron. I want to thank my entire family for their encouragement and support, and to my 2 sons, Mommy loves you. Bachelor of Arts in Legal Studies, Zolomar Torres. Special thanks to my mom and Fred. Patricia Azevedo. Thank you, my husband Joel, my mom Milda, and my father Pablo. Above all, my God, love you. Dario Lamdour. Thank you to my wife, family, and the Lord. Katie Bongiorno. Thank you to Dr. Lawton and my family. Brittany Grimm. Thank you, Mom, Dad, Grandma, Kaylee, Matt, and Eden. Lourdes Nava. Thank you, Mom, Donna Alicia, Ricky, and the rest of the family. Bachelor's of Science in Cyber Forensic Information Security, Markinson Joseph. I'd like to thank Cindy, Lewinsky, Mom, and Professor Wallace. Alan Byer. I'd like to thank Nicole Tansel, Whitney Clark, and Josh Ward. Whitney Clark. I'd like to thank my parents, Kevin, Tammy, and my fiance, Derek. David Peichel. Veronica Ray. George Valentine. I'd like to thank my family, friends, and girlfriend for support. Dolce Vasquez. Thank you, Mom, for all of your support, and Jenny, hope you follow in my footsteps. Bachelor's of Science in Health Science, Mayra Alvarado Cruz. I'd like to thank my family and friends. Samuel Marrero. I'd like to thank my wife Rebecca for her love and support. Luz Vega. I'd like to thank my husband, my mother, and my children. Bachelor's of Science in Sports Medicine and Fitness Technology, Alina Heller. I'd like to thank my mom, dad, Greg, and family. Sydney Hoffman. I'd like to thank my mom, dad, Cody, family, and friends for all your love and support. Patrick Lewis II. I'd like to thank my parents. Dwayne Medina. I'd like to thank my mother, father, sister, and my beautiful girlfriend, Raina. Associates of Arts and Accounting, Alexander Butsky. I'd like to thank Lana and Victor Butsky, the Alvarado family, Gabby and Kathy for their support. Unique Grubb Vincent. I'd like to thank God, my husband and 2 children, Kiki and family, Flo and family, and other relatives and friends for their love and support. Brittany Metcalf. I'd like to thank Stacy Schillinger, Vito Johnson, and Landon Metcalf, her mother, husband, and son. Louisa Juan. Thank you to my friends and family, including Jesse, Marco, Jose, Laya, Mom, and Dad. Tamika Lovett. I'd like to thank my parents Eddie and Y. Lovett, my sister Peggy, Dean Knox, all of my kids, love you to the moon. Hamarez Noe. I'd like to thank God and my family. Woo! Julio Nicholas. I'd like to thank Keiser University, the business department, my mom, Anna, family, and God. Destiny Reeves. I'd like to thank my biggest supporter, Jackie Reeves, and all of my family. Juan Ramirez Raimundo. I'd like to thank my family and girlfriend, Yoselin. Oh, that's... Caitlin Wheeler. I'd like to thank my mom, dad, Andrew, grandma, and Carter. Stephanie Velasco. I'd like to thank my husband, mom, Mark, and family. Associates of Arts in Health Services Administration, Brittany Bell. I'd like to thank my hubby, Lane Bell, parents, in-laws, Addison, my baby girl, God, and all my family. Associates of Arts in Homeland Security, Merrick Ferguson. I'd like to thank Perlin, Diana, and the rest of my family. Associates of Arts in Hospitality, Yesenia Caballero. Thank the Lord Jesus Christ and my daughters. Ronald James. I'd like to thank my family for all your love and support. I love you guys. Nora McCrae. I'd like to thank Nancy, the staff, family, and my fiance. Patrice Pierre Gouy. I want to thank God, my 4 children, my parents for your love and support. Michael Schaefer. I'd like to thank Dean Frank, Professor Nicole King, and family. Derek Dye. I'd like to thank my mother, Gina, grandparents, sister, and Lauren. Marie Garcia. I'd like to thank Irene Vega, Sergio Fajardo. Valerie Gomez. I'd like to thank my mom and dad. Associates of Science in Diagnostic Medical Sonography. Yamirka Alvarez. I'd like to thank my family, my friends, professors, loved ones, and my girlfriend, Beverly. Elizabeta Kukuza. I would like to thank all the support from my friends and most of all my family and my best friend. I love you. Happy birthday. Haley Smith, I want to thank my friends and family. Andy Swanson, I'd like to thank my family, my friends, my amazing boyfriend, and all of my clinical instructors. And P.S. Happy anniversary, John. Associate of Science and Information Technology, Jenna Jerome. I'd like to thank my family and close friends. Alexander Jimenez. I'd like to thank Mr. Wallace, Mr. Durance, Mr. Bruno, Dean Knox, and my family. David Sosa. I'd like to thank my wife, Emily, for her love and support, and my IT professors for their dedication. Lionel Telfer. I'd like to thank my family and friends, Dean Knox, Mr. Durance, Mr. Wallace, Dr. Stewart, Dr. K. Michael Theodorokatos. Thanks to my family, my closest friends, and my beautiful girlfriend, Gina, I love you. Shamir Walters. I'd like to thank my family and close friends. Associate of Science and Medical Assistant, Brittany Azino. Thank you, family. Love you all. Thank you, Kate Teddy, for all of your help. Love you. Rachel Ballinger. Thank you, Mom, and my entire family for believing in me. A huge thank you to Austin. I love you all. Jesse Barton. Thank you to my family and friends, Nancy, Ricky, and Stephen. Letitia Calderon. I'd like to thank my family. Justin Colley. I'd like to thank my family and friends and the blessed God. Wanda Crespo. I'd like to thank my mother, my husband, girls, and family for their support. I love you. Brianna Cueto. I'd like to thank my family and friends, and a special thanks to Eric for supporting me and believing in me throughout this process. Nicholas D. Francesco. I'd like to thank Eric, Dawn, Joyce, Mike, Elise, and friends, and my family for everything you have done for me. This day means everything. Danye Dehaney. Thanks to my family, especially sisters and niece, Jean and Wesley, Miss Tebby and friends, cousin Desmond, and the love of my life, Tupac. Valon DeSaucis. I'd like to thank my parents, my brother, boyfriend, and family. Thank you for believing in me. Love you guys. Lorena Dernwall. I'd like to thank Miss Tebby for everything. Love you, Tebs. My mom and dad and aunt and best friends. Emily Eicher. I'd like to thank Kent Tebby, Michelle Rentes, and my family. Susanna Francisco. I'd like to thank Rosalia, my mom and dad. Ivis Bello. I'd like to thank my husband, daughter, uncle, my aunt, and friends. Becky Goodnow. I'd like to thank my family, instructors for all of their support. Kellen Hauser. I'd like to thank my mom, husband, and family. Belinda Mercado. I'd like to thank my husband, Sammy, my mother, and family. Lauren Mitchell. I'd like to thank my parents, siblings, grandparents for all of their guidance and love. Maria Oviedo Morel. I'd like to thank my kids, Jaden and Isabella, my husband, Giovanni, Angela, my mother, Louise, my dad, Irene and you all from the bottom of my heart. Nicole Nieves Pagon. Thank you to Mom and Dad for everything. I love you. And to my family for all you've done. And to Miss Tebby, you are the best. Sarah Seidel. Thank you to my family, Michelle, Trent Davis, and Kate Tebby. Diana Sari Leva. I'd like to thank Diana, my mom and dad, friends and family, especially Alejandro and Alexander, and my kids, I love you. Gina Wheeling. I'd like to thank my parents and boyfriend for helping me accomplish my goals. Megan Yoder. Thanks, Mom, Bob, London, Paris, and Alexis. Melissa Zaza. Thank you to my parents, Scott and Ryder. Associates of Science in Medical Billing and Coding. Cassidy McCaw. I'd like to thank Sean. Associate of Science in Occupational Therapy, Anthony Anderson. I'd like to thank my family and friends, Keiser professors and staff, and especially my dad. Michelange Francois. I'd like to thank my family and friends, especially my mom and dad. Yasmalise Gonzalez. I'd like to thank my family and friends and all the OTA professors. Ashley Haas. I'd like to thank Chris, Cameron, Noel, and my family. Brianna Jones. I'd like to thank my mom, dad, fiance, Josh, sisters, brothers, in-laws, and Cindy Turner. Nicole Dreyer. I'd like to thank my mom and dad, I love you, my husband and Dustin for believing in me when I didn't think I could do it. Graciela Navarro. Thanks to my parents and family for all the support. I love you all. Andrea Orlava. To my parents, I love you, Martha, Lucia, and Jeremy. Greg Peterson. Thank you for your support and inspiration, and for my girlfriend, Terry Osborne, and my son, Mitch Peterson. Christopher Pomazenko. I'd like to thank everyone who supported me. Jenny Pontius. I'd like to thank my parents, Rick and Darlene, for their love and support. Edwin Rodriguez. I'd like to thank God, Cohort 12, all the Keiser teachers and staff, Natasha, and all my family and friends. All right. How about that? Exciting, huh? All right. So without further ado, President Tedros, may I present to you the candidates for awarding master's, bachelor's, and associate's degrees.
Will the candidates please rise? Now this is official. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Keiser University, Fort Myers, Florida campus, and the Florida Department of Education, I hereby award you your degrees with all the rights, privileges, and honors thereon to appertaining. You may move your tassels from the right to the left. I'd like you to turn and face the audience. Sit down for just a moment, if you would. I want to take one special moment to thank our veterans here tonight. If our student veterans or graduate veterans would please stand up. Any other veterans in the audience to please stand up. And we want to thank you for your service. Thank you. So the evening is over. Thank you all for coming. Congratulations to all of you graduates. You should be very, very, very proud of what you've accomplished. Thank you, Leader Rodriguez, for your wise words, and Dr. Ware for sharing in our event. Thank you to our faculty and staff for your dedication and hard work. Thank you to our student ushers for assisting tonight. And very special thanks to Annie Ganucci and Josh Ward for coordinating tonight's event. At this time, I would like to ask everyone to rise and honor the graduates one last time. Please remain standing until all the program participants on stage and the graduates have exited. All of you, please have a safe and wonderful evening. Congratulations.